Welcome again, everyone. Now I'm going to talk about intussusception. Intussusception occurs when a portion of the alimentary tract is telescoped into an adjacent segment, and it is the most common cause of intestinal obstruction between 5 months and 3 years of age, and it is the most common abdominal emergency in children younger than 2 years of age. 60% of patients are younger than 1 year of age, and 80% of cases occur before age of 24 months, and it's rare in neonates. The incidence of intussusception varies from 1 to 4 per 1,000 live births. The male to female ratio is 3 to 1, so it is more common in males. And many intussusceptions are small bowel, and a few small bowel and the colonic intussusception reduce spontaneously. If left untreated, ileal colonic intussusception may lead to intestinal infarction, perforation, peritonitis, and death. When we see the etiology of intussusception, most cases of intussusception have unknown cause, and some are associated with viral infections such as adenovirus, and it complicates upper respiratory tract infection, acute gastroenteritis, otitis media, Haemophilus purpura, and the like. And the theory of the mechanism that causes intussusception includes swollen Peyer's patch during this infectious process. And in pediatrics, lead points are seen in 2 to 8% of cases. Those lead points include Meckel's diverticulum, intestinal polyp, neurofibroma, hemangioma, and lymphoma. But majority, around 90% of intussusception cases in pediatrics have no leading causes. When we see the etiology between children and adults, in children, as we have said, there is no anatomical leading point in around 90% of cases. And if there is a lead point, the most common causes are Meckel's diverticulum, polyp, enterogenous cyst, ectopic pancreas, and the purpura or HSP. Whereas in adults, majority of them have a leading point, such as tumor, usually benign in the small intestine, and the malignant in large intestine, polyp, ulcer, and the foreign bodies. Only 10% of them have no leading point in adults. So majority of intussusception adults have leading points, whereas in children, majority of them is idiopathic. Regarding the pathophysiology, intussusceptions are most often ileocolic and less commonly seicocolic and occasionally ileal. And the upper portion of the bowel or the intussusceptum invaginates into the lower, the intussuscepans, pulling its mesentery along with it into the enveloping loop. Constrictions of the mesentery obstructs venous return, and this causes engorgement of the intussusceptum follows, and with edema, bleeding from the mucosa leads to a bloody stool, sometimes containing mucus. And the apex of the intussusceptions can extend into the transverse descending sigmoid colon and even to through the anus in neglected cases. Most intussusceptions do not strangulate the bowel within the first 24 hours, but they can eventuate in the intestinal gangrene and the shock if they persist more than 24 hours if there is no intervention. Regarding clinical presentation, the typical clinical presentation of intussusception is a young child who presents with a sudden onset in a previously well child of severe paroxysmal colic pain that recurs at frequent interval, and it's accompanied by straining efforts with legs and knees flexed and loud cries. Vomiting in most cases, and it's usually more frequent early. In the latter phase, the vomitus becomes bile stained, and the stools of normal appearance may occur during the first few hours of symptoms, and then fecal excretions are small or more often do not occur, and little or no flatus is passed. Bleed is generally passed in the first 12 hours, but at times not for 1 to 2 days, and infrequently not at all. And 60% of infants pass a stool containing red blood and mucus, which is called the current jelly stool. And some patients have only irritable and alternating or progressive lethargy. And the classic triad of pain, palpable sausage-shaped abdominal mass, and blood or current jelly stool is seen in only 30% of patients with intussusception. The combination of paroxysmal pain, vomiting, and the palpable abdominal mass has a positive predictive value of greater than 90%, and the presence of rectal bleeding increases this to approximately 100%. Palpation of the abdomen usually reveals a slightly tender sausage-shaped mass, sometimes ill-defined, which might increase in size and firmness during a paroxysm of pain, and is most often in the right upper abdomen with its long axis cephalocaudally. And approximately 30% of patients do not have a palpable mass. And the presence of bloody mucus on rectal examination supports the diagnosis of intussusception. Abdominal distension and the tenderness develop as intestinal obstruction become more acute. On rare occasion, the advancing intestine prolapses through the anus. This prolapse can be distinguished from prolapse of the rectum by the separation between the protruding intestinal and the rectal wall, which does not exist in the prolapse of the rectum. Regarding investigation, abdominal X-ray might show dilated gas-filled proximal bone and paucity of gas distally and multiple fluid levels, but it might be normal in the early stage. And the best investigation for intussusception is ultrasound, which might show a definite or target sign or pseudokidney or sandwich appearance, and it's a very effective modality, and it might consider many consider it the investigation of choice for intussusception. Bowel enema might be done, and the barium has been gold standard. There might be crescent sign or filling defect, but air and water soluble double contrast now available, and each has pros and cons, and the choice is left to the individual radiologist. But currently, the best investigation modality is ultrasound. Regarding differential diagnosis for intussusception has three main differential diagnoses. These are acute gastroenteritis, Henoch-Schönlein purpura, and the rectal prolapse. Abdominal pain, vomiting, and stool with mucus and blood are present in acute gastroenteritis, but diarrhea is the leading symptom. Diarrhea is absent in intussusception. Rectal prolapse can be differentiated by the projecting mucosa that can be felt in continuity with the perianal skin, whereas intussusception, the finger might pass indefinitely into the depths of the sulcus. Henoch-Schönlein purpura presents with the characteristic rash, so we can differentiate intussusception from those differential diagnoses. Regarding treatment, emergency medical care is required to avoid severe dehydration and shock, as well as to prevent infections that can occur when a portion of intestine dies due to lack of blood. And treatment options for intussusception include water-soluble contrast or air enema. This is both a diagnostic procedure and a treatment. If an enema works, further treatment is usually not necessary, and this treatment can actually fix intussusception 90% of time in children, and no further treatment is needed. If the intestine is torn or perforated, this procedure is contraindicated. The other is surgical intervention. If the intestine is torn, or if an enema is unsuccessful in correcting the problem, or if lead point is the cause, surgery is necessary. The surgeon will freeze the portion of the intestine that is trapped, clear the obstruction, and if necessary, remove any of the intestinal tissue that has died. Regarding prognosis, untreated ileal colic intussusception in infants is usually fatal. So ileocolic intussusception is always fatal. The chance of recovery are directly related to the duration of intussusception before reduction. And the spontaneous reduction during preparation for operation is common. And the recurrence rate after reduction of intussusception is approximately 10%, and after surgical reduction it is 2 to 5%, and there is no recurrence if there is resection of the affected segment. And the most recurrence occur within 72 hours of reduction. And the repeated reducible episodes caused by lymphonodular hyperplasia may respond to treatment of identifiable food allergies if present. Thank you for your attention, and don't forget to subscribe this channel.